No go tell me story. No need to do boju. Cause baby, now I know you've been playing with me. After the love I gave you, and after all I've done for you.
Follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM, on Twitter at Mainland FM. We are the sound of Lagos.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. And I want to use this medium to talk to you. Please, look at the youth of Nigeria. We are really suffering.
Politics plays its part in everything that defines us as a sovereign entity. Isn't it right to discuss what makes it tick? When the main actors converge in the power corridors to make decisions that affect the next meal, shouldn't we probe even deeper?
Nigeria is suffering. The suffering is too much.
When it comes to the complexities of politics, we strive to give it clarity, to deepen your understanding as the listener.
The decisive factor will be knowledgeable leadership committed to good governance.
Make it a date with Oᴏᴜᴇᴇ and Saeed Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. on your top dial, Mainland 98.3 FM. Politics, it's a whole meal.
Political enemies, they don't want you to succeed. Have you just realizing that? No matter what I do, they will still abuse me.
They spoil more and more. And next time they go, children they die more and more. No food to eat, no light to see, no water to drink.
Victor, Shooks, was you, Adamu? I still say you don't the danger because the election don't they come. So you're thinking you're going to make extra dough because that rich man go say make you go carry gun on election day. I know that by snatching ballot boxes or causing mayhem on election day may sound like a means to an end to you. But beyond that, the consequence of your action is not for now, but for another 4 years. Can you boldly announce to anyone that you're a political thug or a man Friday to any politician? You know the shame, Abby. So don't sell your future just for one day gain. Violence is not a testament of real strength. Stand for what is right. Today, make a right choice. Drop that weapon, refuse that offer, and stand for peace. Protect your future, protect your votes, protect your country. Say no to political thuggery. This message is from Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Midweek Politics, live from Mainland 98.3 FM. Now, one of the biggest songs we had in Nigeria about 20 years ago, and the title of that song is Let's Live Together, comprised of a group of 2 ladies and 1 guy. There was Lara George, there was T.Y. Bello, and I'm trying to remember the other person's name, but the song was really big, and it's a song that would continue to align with, especially with where we are as a nation in terms of how we need to accommodate ourselves and respect each other's uniqueness as a beautiful entity coming together to coexist. It's 40 days today that the abduction in Oyo State has happened, and yesterday the executive governor of Oyo State, His Excellency Governor Mɪᴅ-Wᴇᴇᴜ, declared a curfew in 10 local government of the state. We don't know what the next action would be, but again, I'm saying this, it is 40 days now that those kids have been abducted in Orire local government area of Oyo State. Kids as young as 2-year-old, the eldest of them being just 16. And I keep asking, if those were the grandkids of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or those were the children of the executive governor of Oyo State, would they wait for 40 days before we get them out? I don't pray we'd have a cheap box situation put out mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Oꞌ Akini. We have a huge conversation to have on the show today. Matthew Okudia joins me alongside Side Forward, and three of us will drive you from now till 3 p.m. 120 minutes of hardcore politics, the one we call midweek politics. Stay with us. After this break, the program returns.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. And I want to use this medium to talk to you. Please, look at the youth of Nigeria. We are really suffering.
Politics plays its part in everything that defines us as a sovereign entity. Isn't it right to discuss what makes it tick? When the main actors converge in the power corridors to make decisions that affect the next meal, shouldn't we probe even deeper?
Nigeria is suffering. The suffering is too much.
When it comes to the complexities of politics, we strive to give it clarity, to deepen your understanding as the listener.
The decisive factor will be knowledgeable leadership committed to good governance.
Make it a date with Okoyemi and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. on your top dial, Mainland 98.3 FM. Politics, it's a whole meal.
Political enemies, they don't want you to succeed. Have you just realizing that? No matter what I do, they will still abuse me.
Thank you very much for staying with us, and welcome back to the show. I will continue to pray. I will continue to hope that would get some positive results from the Oyo State government in respect to the rescue of the abducted children. It's 40 days today, and if it doesn't worry you, whether you're a member of the All Progressive Congress or the opposition, whether you are non-political, whether you're a religious leader, a traditional ruler, whatever capacity you stand as human beings, you would understand that it is tough, especially with the raining season. Imagine what those kids would be going through at the moment. And the question I keep asking is this: why should non-state actors be so powerful that they would hold the government to ransom for upon them? How many days do you need to deal with these people? I understand the whole fear of collateral damage, but whether you like it or not, it may be bad, it may be unpopular, but at the end you'll be led. I was also asking the governments to hold on to the end of their responsibility by seeing to the safety of the people and also to their welfare. Welcome to the show. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, and I tell you today that we have so much on the menu. Yesterday, the governor of Oyo State, His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde, had declared curfew in 10 local government area of the state. Abduction, but those 10 local governments, are actually the local government that surround or connect the Oyo Park. So we hope that this would also bring us closer to rescuing those children and of course their teachers. 37 students, 7 teachers, 40 days in kidnappers' den. It doesn't look good, especially for the optics. In a moment where we're building for the 2027 election, over the weekend, there were all circular election that returned His Excellency Governor Biodun Yebanji the very first time that a governor will be getting re-elected without a break. Remember, Ayodele Fayose was removed by the then President Olusegun Obasanjo when state of emergency was declared in the state, and we had General Babatunji Olurin, was the military administrator for a while. And then after everything calmed down, Fayose also still came back and then ran for another office and winning his second term, defeating the incumbent governor, His Excellency Kayode Fayed, to complete his own second term. So this is the first time. Ni Adebayo did one term from 1999 to 2003. Ashegun also did one term. So this is the first thing else. The reality of that election, I've seen a lot of observers. I've seen Yava. I've seen independent liners. I've seen Institute for Good Governance. I've seen a lot of them, pass a vote of confidence on INEC in respect to how the election was conducted. Well, voters turned out not as impressive as one would expect. But for an off-cycle election, we're hoping that of Osun State will be a bit better. Osun people will go to the polls also in August to either consolidate on what the Accord Party candidate, the sitting governor, His Excellency Adeleke, Governor Adeleke, or they would want to hold on to the APC that wants to take back the party. Remember, the former governor wanted to run for a second term, and that former governor Oyetola is now a serving minister, by the way, but he lost the second term. But now there is the APC in the state. As of the ADC, the national secretary of the party, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, is also a big player in Osun politics. So let's see if he's going to use the Osun election to announce out that running mate. Why did he not pick Rauf Aregbesola? I don't until today. I was still waiting for that statement from Rotimi Amici accepting the choice to run as the running mate to Atiku Abubakar. So in between that period, there were by-elections to senatorial seats in Rivers State, in Ondo State, and in Nasarawa State, and 2 House of Representative seats. All of those seats were cleared by the APC. And so, except Rivers State, where the former governor, the FCT minister, yet again shows that he's still in charge of the state, as PDP were able to win the vacant Rivers North Senatorial District. I remember the former senator died in London after a brief illness, and was given a very big burial led by the FCT minister. Of course, they used to be very, very good friends. So we keep our fingers crossed. But at some point, we'll also look at the role or the performance of the opposition party in these off-cycle elections. One would expect that is an avenue for them to announce their entrance into the political space, but go check it. On the 11th, the performance of the Labour Party earlier in the general election, it should also be able to get some numbers, but it's not been the same. In Ekiti, in Ondo, in Edo, there have been off-cycle elections for governorship seats in those states, but it's still been the traditional political parties, except Accord. And you and I knew that the governor of Accord, the Osun State governor, left the PDP and went to the Accord Party. In fact, very recently gave an interview that he wanted to join the APC, but the people of APC said they don't want him. Like even the president wanted him to join, but we keep our fingers crossed. So we look into the security issues in Osun State, in Oyo State, and Governor Seyi Makinde declaring curfew in those 10 local governments that surrounds the forest. We don't know, maybe there's going to be an invasion. We don't know what the issues are, but 40 days is a long time. Wow. The opposition had also called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to resign, citing the the immediate past Prime Minister of Britain, of course, that resigned about 48 hours ago. Scientists had also responded to the people calling for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to resign, and they called them charlatans. I will look into all of that also on the show today. So it's a bumper space, and it's a privilege that we have a fuller house. Mr. Matthew Okudo, the Gen Z space, but Mr. Matthew Okudo, it's a pleasure to have you join us on the show today. It's always an exciting time when you're with us.
Thank you for allowing me today.
Okay, and there's also the big elephant himself, the man that everybody wants to give a political party. One moment they say side forward is in the PDP, the next moment they say side forward is in the APC, and maybe one day they will say they are even in Zenith Labour Party side forward. It's another Wednesday afternoon, and I'm sure that the millions of people watching and listening are looking at the perspective upon which we drive the conversation today. You're welcome.
Thank you for which political party I belong to. I belong to the Rainbow Party.
Rainbow Coalition.
It's a testimony of your objectivity. That is saying, whoever comes, if you are black, you say you are black. If you are white, you say you are white. Don't think white is going to tell you you are red when obviously you are black.
No, you are black. It's black and black.
Black and black. So if APC is white today, you say APC you are white. If tomorrow they become black, they say you are.
Like the former president Muhammadu Buhari said when he was sworn in, he said, "I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody." That you've also brought up. Well, the first story to look today. The embattled former governor of Kaduna State and former FCT minister Malam and Nasiru El-Rufai has always been in the eye of the storm. 126 days after there are still issues around the legitimacy of his bail application, and the case had also been adjourned again to the 30th of September 2026. The former governor of Kaduna State and wiretapping amidst difficulty in meeting what is described as a stringent bail condition given to him by two separate courts. So that's the twist. He's having issue at the Kaduna High Court on the issue of misappropriation. There's been 217 days beginning from the date of his detention on the 16th of February 2026. It would, however, be recorded that he was released for 2 days to attend the burial of his mother. A federal high court in Abuja yesterday adjourned the ex-governor's trial for alleged wiretapping of the telephone of the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu until the 22nd of September 2026. Today is the 24th of June. So he was detained after he honored the invitation by the FCC. He was grilled by the crack detectives of the commission and was later released to the ICPC. And of course, his detention and arraignment followed a failed attempt by the security authority to arrest him at the Abuja airport upon his arrival from Cairo, Egypt, where he had lived for months. Well, it goes on like that till issues started happening when it was arranged on the 23rd of April for alleged intercepting the phone conversation of the line of Ribadu, a charge of which he pleaded not guilty. Okay. On the 18th of May, he was granted bail by Justice Joyce Abdul Malik, but he could not meet the conditions. A part of the condition attached to the bail is that the judge ordered that the surety must reside either in Maitama or Asokoro district of Abuja and must deposit the original certificate of the occupancy of a landed property at the court registry. The surety, according to the judge, must be a federal civil servant not below grade level 17 and must also provide evidence of salary payment for the last 3 months, authenticated by a letter from the manager of the bank within which the jurisdiction is being raised and accepted to the registry of the courts. It's a whole lot. I'm going to bring you into this one straight off, Mr. Matthew Okodwa. When things started falling apart within the All Progressive Congress and Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, I remember the role he played in emergence of the APC of Buhari's presidency, served as the governor of Kaduna State also at the same time. And, the all public romance between himself and the president, when the president told him that, don't leave, stay with me, let us govern together. I remember it was at the Kaduna Business Summit. The president was there live on the podium with Malam Nasiru El-Rufai. Election came in when they had their foreign diplomatic, engagement. Now, fast forward to when the screening of the minister started. He was also among the ministers. In fact, I think his name was number 3 on the list after Lateef Fagbemi, the Attorney General of the Federation, and I think Oyetola. Then the third name on that list was Malam Nasiru El-Rufai. He was screened. But in between the screening, there were reports of the fact that there were about 18 security petitions. He started speaking against anti-democratic tendencies within the All Progressive Congress. He started talking about the fact that his party had derailed from the ideologies that they used in forming the political party in 2023, but it looked like the SDP was not going to be accommodating enough. Then when the coalition adopted the ADC in October, upon which the platform to run the election and challenge the incumbency, Malam Nasiru El-Rufai joined the ADC, picked up his membership card, and then he was moving around Kaduna, mobilizing the people, getting the people to be aware of, and insisted that he is not leaving the APC. Malam Nasiru El-Rufai traveled out of Nigeria in November 11 to Cairo. And when he returned in February, on the 16th of February, there was an attempt for him to be arrested in the Abuja, but people shielded him and found him, somehow he got out of the airport. But on the eve of the following day, he was on national TV responding to questions, and he made that particular statement that along the line, he made mention of the presenter, Charles, do you know that somebody tapped the line of the NSA for me, and I found out that there's plan for me to be arrested. And that was where the conversation changed. He was a mismanaged fund when he was governor. So I decided to, go take us memory lane so that the people would understand where this conversation is coming from. 126 days after, Malam Nasser spent the entire Ramadan period in the DSS custody. His mom died while he was in custody. He was released for 2 days on personnel grounds to go bury his mother, and after that, he was returned to custody. Bail conditions were given 5 weeks ago, but it's been 5 decades. And in line of this discussion, a lot of people are of the entire coloration around the travail of Malam Nasir El-Rufai.
Thank you very much, Ope, for the long story behind it. Someone like me will not be surprised because it's a tradition of politics. One thing people don't among the politicians is re-evaluated a day after, every other day. You talk about the role he played, even in the emergence of Buhari and the emergence of Tinubu as, first of all, a southern president. We cannot there was a time a question was thrown at the president. He said El-Rufai should answer it. And that's in Chatham House. That shows that there's some element, or there was a great deal of element of trust. Between them. By the time he made a move to leave APC, that trust died. Now he's not facing what I may say political judiciary. And in that political judiciary, it is not the judge that decides the result. It's the politicians that decide the results. What happened? That's the mode we still think of him. But in politics, he's zero. As at this hour, he's zero. From APC end, he's nothing. Because he cannot contribute anything. I'm not talking of when I say contribution, not financially now.
Sure.
Ideologically, operationally, everything he cannot. Not as much as he contributed to the emergence of Buhari as a southern presidential candidate. They were almost taking it from the south.
On the eve of the primaries, when Ahmed Lawan, the then Senate president, was announced, El-Rufai led the governors to meet the then president, now late tomorrow, Muhammadu Buhari.
Yes, to say no, he should go to the south. One would think that was the reason why the good romance between him and the current president at that time. But as I said, objectively it ends. You have worked for me, have become security reports, may not make sense. Because all those that are there now are not as good as, are not as holy, in quotes, are not as holy as El-Rufai. So this judicial trial now, or politician in charge to consider him. So every politician knows what I'm telling you now. That trust, I trust you yesterday as a colleague. Else, onlookers will say, were they not like this yesterday? But between you and me, we know that it ended yesterday. That's what is going through right now. Because I see no reason why but somebody else may. See no reason why. He'll not go to jail. They won't kill him, but he'll be punished. He'll be taken out of politics for a while. That energy he used to mobilize for a certain president, then for Buhari, they locked the energy up with him. They are not, the Muslim ticket was designed by El-Rufai. He did it in Kaduna. Remember he said that even if I have a critic, it will always be like that now. That is his idea. So you can see that he had a good input into this one. But then, as I said, it's on those foundations that we don't need him again. Or who left each other? Is it the party that left El-Rufai, or El-Rufai that left the party? Whichever way, they're no more together. So all those things are story. Their old things are passed away. They have gone. So for APC now, El-Rufai should be punished. I don't think they want to jail him. They may not be jailed because looking at some comments yesterday after the trial, the last trial, you didn't what he said. You didn't quote him word for word with Charles. How do you know? They tap our wire. Somebody else tap it. He didn't say they tap it for me. He didn't tap it. That's another logic there. He didn't tap it. Somebody else tapped it. So the idea is let him serve his purpose. Let them punish him in jail, in the cell, in detention. At the end of the day, when he would be no longer in a position to contribute politically.
If anyone listen to me right now, or listen to Mr. Matthew Okuda now, they'll probably just conclude that whether political judiciary or whatever persecution, the most important thing is that this is a political witch hunt. That could be people's summary. You down. Remember the trial of Exazaki as well, the very famous fairy preacher. Issues around how long he stayed. Wow. The last 3 years of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, also there is a certain Emefiele. How is those kind of individuals that, in a way, attention of Malam Nasir El-Rufai, words were flying everywhere. Oh, if you arrest Malam, everyone would fall. Oh, Nigeria will burn, will protest, will do this. 126 days after, even his wife had come out and said that she's been denied access to him to even bring him food. How far do you think this matter would go? And do you subscribe to Mr. Matthew Okuda's school of thought that says that they are not dealing with him, they are dealing with the political fire that he carries in terms of mobilization? What do you make of all of this as well?
Well, thank you, Okwemi. This trial is politically motivated. You know, it has the hand, the leg, the face of politics. And if you want to, again, this is an active court case, so probably will not be able to talk about it. I'm sure we are permitted to talk about the bail conditions.
Sure.
And that's where we might begin to see the possibility of the government just wanting to keep him in the cool. Argued
that's too stringent.
These conditions are too stringent. You know, must reside in either Maitama or Asokoro districts of Abuja. So location of whoever is going to be a shorty. That's even a minor part of the whole thing. And must deposit the original certificate of occupancy of a landed property at the cost registry. Okay, that means the property must accompany, which is always the standard. Now, the grade level 17, so you must be a director. You buy a director. So you must be level 17. Now, and must also provide evidence of salary payment. We'll go further. Mr. Matthew can help us. What could be the total take-home pay of somebody in level 17?
Close to 700.
700,000. This person must own a property in Maitama.
How can Asokoro with 700,000? By the time you manage all your deductions.
I'm not. You sure you see? Officially, not the unofficial. Now, so the person
Asokoro,
and then you must bring the CFO. Now, besides the shorty is to deposit an affidavit of means and enter into a bail bond and submit recent passports and to the registry. So you must even show your accounts. So they look at your account and like,
director,
a civil servant.
Asokoro Maitama.
For Maitama.
So this account has been funded.
I must be resident. You know, because again, El-Rufai, I'm sure has a lot of friends.
Loads of friends.
Who live in Maitama, who have properties, several properties in Abuja. I'm sure if they had not limited this to a civil servant,
of course,
in 2 hours.
In 2 hours, somebody has brought the CFO. Somebody from Maitama or whatever would have come up. But you limited it to
civil servants.
Level 17 civil servants who probably has helped himself through the entire civil service year. He probably has maybe 1 or 2 years to go.
You will not drag him inside battle that is not his own.
So the question is, and if you look at the argument of the El-Rufai's lawyers, they've said these are too stringent. It is not even because if you look at it, how would you justify? That's why I just thank God Mr. People can help with level 17. So to now for the
it's like saying nobody should bail you.
It's as good as saying because okay, let's see who will come out.
Let me hold your thoughts. Let me quickly read this part of the story. It says the family members said all the bail conditions had been met except the level 7. Not find one since 18th of May when the bail conditions were given. He said there are 4 cases against El-Rufai, 3 in Kaduna, 1 in Abuja. We have not found any civil servants that met those criteria.
They will never get.
But they will not get.
They will not get.
Okay, even the judge said there are people like that because that was the counter argument of the prosecution to say, why can't they get? But it is not that. Look, you and I know
they are
the situation of our
What
So, but for you to now come out,
say, and I may get this house,
full chest it, and say, and then you have to. You have a bank bond. You have to present your statement,
and then the bank manager will authenticate your statement of account for the past 3 months.
That's why I said that. Look, you see that they've met other conditions, but that one
civil servants
is deliberate, and that's why people have argued that if the government wants to, one was on the corruption allegation, the other one was you grant an interview. Let's hold it.
I mean, it was played in court, and when the Jardine Anju was brought in as a second witness by the DSS.
So. But again, we won't go into the merits and the merits of the case. It's an active, because I've spoken to quite a number of politically exposed persons. If he's out there, El-Rufai is someone who will not know. So the best thing is to keep him out of circulation, politically speaking now. And I think that appears to be what the government is trying to achieve by, again, you ask yourself, why adjourn the case till
September
27th.
That's when the hearing on a no case submission will start.
And remember again that this is at the level of the Federal High Court.
There are still 3 cases in Kaduna.
So if the government wants to keep him out of circulation, they can continue to, because again, example of getting him out of circulation is giving these kinds of conditions. So I think at the end of the day, history will be made. And when I say history, we might get to a point because at the end of the day, somebody's going to win this battle. Whether it's the president or El-Rufai, because this is the state against El-Rufai. And if you say the state against El-Rufai, it means it is the president against him. Don't be deceived. Once the state is against you, because all these charges can be dropped today, sir. If the president decides that all these cases will end, it can end today. Drop all charges. So. And I think that we might also be lucky to get to a day when the president will write his autobiography, and would hope that he will address this El-Rufai matter. How did we get to a point where the president, as he was assuming office, had gone on the podium to beg a man not to leave the country? That he's been told he wants to proceed
on his study
leave and what have you, and had gone to say, a major part of my administration. I've been told he wants to leave the country for studies. Tell him not to go. He must
wait.
And I will not leave this podium until he comes out
and give me the commitment
and give me the pledge and commitment that he will not leave the country. How did the person suddenly become
an enemy?
To
this very large,
I think can tell us what has gone wrong, or at what point did these issues come up. El-Rufai's analysis have been that this is the handiwork of Malam Nasir, Nuhu Ribadu. That Nuhu Ribadu is ambitious. Nuhu Ribadu thinks that
he will be a threat in 2031
because that Nuhu Ribadu is nursing
presidential
ambition for 2031. He wants to be the chosen successor of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and to him, any other influential northerner
is a threat.
Will be a threat to that ambition. So he's trying to get everybody out. That has been the. But the only person that can say whether that is true or not
is the president.
Because if you say it is the handwork of Nuhu Ribadu, but you have tied it to the president too.
Yes.
That it is
because
about.
Nuhu Ribadu does not even control the judiciary.
So whatever happens, the thing is, you've linked it up to the president. So the question is, as president 2031, that's if he wins a second term. So what was the need to insist that El-Rufai becomes a part of the government? What at that time one would have predicted that if you are looking for 1, 2, 3 influential people in this government,
and people were already attaching ministries to El-Rufai.
Even the minister in politics or just a mere supporter has been able to explain. I've seen some very funny argument. It's because of appointment. If he had gotten appointment, he want to scatter the party. Look, this is not about appointment. I am sure that if El-Rufai was given a ministerial position, it was not going to be about money for him. Really.
No. It wouldn't.
It was going to be about this. What about the betrayal? You know what it means to say, oh, you know what?
Stay back. Cancel this plan.
And look,
stay with me.
Look, the people who say these things cannot also argue the fact that, look, if you are looking at one of the people that really worked hard, that also worked within the political. When Emefiele started his nonsense, El-Rufai was one of the 3 governors that went to court.
Yes.
If you remember.
Yes.
And they had gone to court against President Muhammadu Buhari. Whether anybody likes it or not, because I said it, look, you can say President Muhammadu Buhari, God bless his soul, is a self-preservationist. Emefiele would not have done what he was doing without
yes, of course. We're talking about the legal tender. Yes. We're talking about the money.
He changed money. The square became scarce. Everything became a problem. We knew it was a political.
The money because
of me. They want to bring everybody down. So El-Rufai was one of the 3 governors that went to court. Some of the vuvuzelas of government were not even bold enough to stand up to Buhari.
They couldn't challenge it.
The 3 governors, Matawale, Bello, Yaya Bello, and El-Rufai.
And El-Rufai kept telling the people of Kaduna that continue to spend the money. This money, hold this. It will be valid when we enter government.
When the prospect of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of becoming the candidate of the APC became extremely problematic. Remember that rumors were flying just as at the time the primaries were going to be held.
On the eve of the primaries.
It was the primaries that President
Ahmed Lawan's name came up.
You know, and for people who said Buhari didn't
work against Tinubu.
I don't even want to go there, but Buhari wanted to choose a successor.
Yes.
If I had told the APC governors, allow me to choose my successor.
He said it. You guys sent a memo to them that you choose your own successor. I don't interfere. So why don't you want me to choose my successor? Buhari wanted. He had a successive plan.
He had a plan.
He did.
He had a plan. So when the rumor now came up on the eve of the primaries, he had chosen Ahmed Lawan as a successor. The first 1, 2, 3 persons that went to
was El-Rufai
challenging to say, you know what, we are not even saying you have no right, sir. Tell us to our face.
And why did you even choose another?
No, you know, before you even, I'm sure they were, Baba, we have had.
Talk we did here like this. Talk for our front.
And Buhari couldn't. He said, no. So those were people who, on whatever they had seen at that time, stood up to Buhari, stood up to his indecision, stood up to his clannishness. Because if it is true, although nobody has come out to say it is true, that he had chosen Ahmed Lawan, that would have authenticated the fact that this was just a clannish, But El-Rufai stood, and you could see that at that time, even after the primaries, the president was full of praises for what El-Rufai could have done.
We saw the video where they were dancing.
They were all there together,
They were chilling.
So, and like Mr. Kodo has said, if the president really wanted El-Rufai,
it would have been with him.
Look, when you say security report, even gone through his table.
If there was any.
If there was any.
No, they couldn't have passed report to Senate.
Then
passed to the president.
If the president at some point eventually now changed his mind, why did they allow the humiliation to go on? They would have stopped their El-Rufai from appearing at the floor of the Senate.
During the last she was an Miriam. I got to the entrance and they said your name had been removed.
But you knew you were not going to allow. Was drilled, and then they already knew that they were not going to allow him. So at the end of the day, it's politics, bitter, dirty. It's just what it is. But how things fell apart between the president and Malam Nasir El-Rufai, we've seen the account of Malam Nasir. So you
leave, and I will go to the next story. Mr. Matthew Kuda, briefly, the next adjournment is on the 22nd of September. So it's going to be difficult for us to detach this conversation away from the general election in January. It is going to be very difficult because we knew that if El-Rufai was still here, maybe the lingers into the election. Does it validate the conversation of political witch hunting?
That conversation does not need validation.
It's existing.
Yes, does not need validation for what? Nobody is validating things. No,
people are saying that
that's just one aspect. At the end of the day, that tapping came in after he has been.
It was almost picked up at the airport.
Yes,
actually,
after he has been under pressure, under surveillance, under all kind of things. You get it now. So, if it's a criminal case, let's know it's a criminal case. You are corrupt. You are this. You are that. Nobody are below this street, so. Yahya Bello is
Street. He's the senatorial candidate for Kogi Central.
So
APC.
The corruption that is being tried for in Kaduna shouldn't have stopped him.
Ifeanyi Okowa allegedly
this is wiretapping.
Wiretapping is not.
How dare you wiretap the NSA?
You see, the wiretapping, as at this hour, even the wiretapping shouldn't have been, for now, shouldn't have been a court case. The person would have, who tapped it for you? Who should have been there? Do you get it now? But how do I put it in? Just like somebody you are looking for, and somehow you just see his back.
Yoruba will say entofe sunje, person wey dey wan roast, we can go use oil rub body.
But it becomes faster. You know, so those are the things. So it doesn't need validation. You know.
What's his name now? Dasuki, the same situation. And we've seen some of these things, and let's just keep our fingers crossed. But Emefiele is still somewhere, and it looks like he's going to spend the first 4 years of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, him also coming in and out of court. So the case of Malam Nasir El-Rufai comes up again on the 22nd of September. I'm hoping that they will have gotten his level 17 officer that is ready to chest out
and
put his house in. So trust us on Mainland FM here. Every update on these stories will come back and tell you what exactly is going on. Let's check the other story. You're live on Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM. Thank you very much and welcome back. Prominent leaders of the National Democratic Coalition, Colonel Tᴏɪᴛᴛᴇʀ, retired, and Chief Ayo Padokun have rejected claims by former head of state General Abdulsalami Abubakar, retired, that the leaders of the pro-democracy group, the late winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election, MK, was not poisoned, insisting that his account of events surrounding Abiola's death was unconvincing. Abdulsalam, in his recently launched autobiography Call of Duty, claimed that some Nadeko leaders privately appealed to him to prolong the military rule after becoming convinced of his commitment to hand over power in 1999. According to the former military president, Abdulsalam said he rejected the request, asking the group to acknowledge it if they were really serious publicly. The former head of state had dismissed the long-standing position that Abiola was poisoned. Britain and Canada concluded that he died of natural causes linked to pre-existing hypertension and heart diseases. Colonel Inyam, a key member of the NADEC struggle, was aimed at ending military dictatorship and not prolonging it. Inyam said, "I'm not sure which NADECO General Abdulsalam was referring to. To the best of my knowledge, the leader of NADECO then was Chief Tony Enauru. And while he was briefing all of us in secret, and which was imposed by the military, Inyam recalled that Abdulsalam sent a close associate, Olowu, to meet NADECO leaders in exile, including the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was then in London. He said Tinubu invited key NADECO figures from across Europe to the meeting, where the coalition unanimously insisted on a credible democratic transition rather than extension of the military rule. When General Abdulsalam sent was an emissary to meet with us, Tinubu invited all the key NADECO leaders, and we all had a meeting. I traveled from Edinburgh to London for that meeting. The man sought our opinion, and what all of us insisted on was that the handover should be properly done to create a system that persons from NADECO abroad who were asked him to extend military rule, who would have done that when all we were fighting for was the end to the military rule. He suggested that Abdulsalam was either misinformed or being economical with the truth. He said, I think the general was either misinformed or deliberately being economical with the truth. There was never anything like that. The issue was clear. We wanted a process that would first produce the people's driven book, Call of Duty. And there's been series of extracts of that book that have been used in the news. Different conversation from General Abdulsalami Abubakar. Now the major one had been that leaders of NADECO reached out to him that he should extend the military rule. And now they responded. I mean, there are certain wounds that they say we should just leave, that time would heal. It looks like this is not one of them side forward.
Well, I really don't know about healing or the goal.
27
of I'm sure that at 27 years,
that's 28
plus almost 28 years, But let's look at the book again. When you have history documented in the form of a book, it comes in different forms. It could come in the form of a biography, it could come in fiction to document history. And so what they do is that, look, while some of these things are manufactured, there are some facts that you can get from this history book. So this is an autobiography. So this is
about himself.
Historically, you understand the way I've categorized this book and the way I see historical documents, sometimes documentations in this form. Because again, history is what it is. And a lot of these things are difficult to verify. In fact, some of them who are active players have died. So you can't call them back to say, what happened? What happened? For example, Napoleon Bonaparte, in making us understand what history is all about, said, what is history but a fable agreed upon? And then Dan Brown, who was my friend, writes the history books. And then he says, study the historian before you begin to study the facts. Who is the person writing?
So that means every of these is subjective,
certain perspective.
There's a perspective.
Not general.
It's not. You can't. It's subjective. It's about.
It's relative. It's
personal.
So let's ask ourselves. Nadeko was at the forefront of alarm. This was the same problem we had with
IBB's book too.
But that one was so easy to punch. The lies were so obvious. So, that's why you see that the book is not just full of lies. But what on the issue of Nadeko, and it is good that we have Nadeko members who are alive to respond to what has been written. That at some point they wanted
an extension
of military rule because they were not prepared. I'm like, these are people who have suffered extensively. Some of them were on exile.
Some of them
at that point, some
jailed,
of them were in
jailed.
And so they now discover that somebody was truly committed
to giving them what they've always fought for.
They will now say no. And they know that, look, things can change very fast. Look, Babangida that did 8 years kept changing timetable. Because the thing about power is that unless you have a committed military man that wants to hand over,
it's difficult.
Immediately begins to enjoy. So now you have somebody say, I want to hand over. I'm not staying. I need to go. They will now tell the person, say,
please extend.
Then the question,
we want more suffering.
What? So it's not that thing get as it be. Let me just use the straight. I don't know where that is coming from. It ending. I will say no. Let the thing continue. I'm sorry, it does not make sense. Somebody has to make it make sense to me. Then on the Abiola part, can we just allow Abiola, rest in peace? All these stories, he died. He was not poisoned. He had cardiac. It's all fallacy. Just mere fallacy. Abiola did not die in his house now. He did not die in the comfort of his family. There are latent poisons, that we've seen severally with enough facts that shows that, look, you can be poisoned and no autopsy in the world will detect it.
Especially if it's institutionalized.
If it's by the state.
The state version.
Because the essence is to ensure you can't even trace it. There are, the Russian state, for example, has a record of doing things like that. They take you out and
you won't see anything.
Nobody can trace anything to you. So I'm sorry. And they talk about the fact that, look, this was a time that Abiola was having a meeting with Condoleezza Rice and some foreign envoys.
The then U.S. Secretary of State.
And the story at that time was that, look, Nigeria was at a crossroad. Abacha had died. Abiola's case was unresolved. With Abiola still, if Abacha, who was one of the stumbling blocks, was gone, the other person should go.
So that's another theory.
It's with another theory. But at the end of the day, I've just told you what great thinkers have talked about. I'm sorry. It's not a book I want to have on the shelves. I'm sorry. My own reason of the book.
Sorry.
Yes, please.
I will want to agree with General Dusalan and disagree with those who have disagreed with him. Because the point is, price of Nadeko, the 50 are actually pursuing the same objective.
To the cause. No, there could be one or two persons in between.
And what Abdul Salam said, he didn't say an official of.
No, it would have helped.
No, it's not. That's not. That naming is not good in public administration.
But this is his own story.
Yes, it's not there.
And I don't think anybody's going
to. No, you can't say
this is him writing his own story.
The people he's leaving behind,
yes.
There must be confusion among them too.
If he names them.
If he names them, there'll be confusion among the Nadeko people. Like when we accuse somebody, military, by maybe some Nadeco
Yes.
members, you want to say, you first of all look at your faces. You say, how ignorant are these people? If you know what that man did to me, what that man told me,
Nadeco guys that you thought
some. So yes, exactly. Go ahead.
Were not actually committed
not
to
all
return
of
of
them
democracy.
There were few who were committed.
Let's name and shame them.
Well,
so that they don't
rely on the trust of the crowd.
I don't know.
You know, the trust of the group is not complete. It's not 100%. It's not
because we've had stories like this before.
Yes.
Up till today, there are still stories flying around as to those who betrayed Abiola. You know, people have been saying that.
And maybe some of them are even still
around now.
Let me actually surprising about President Tinubu's performance.
Yes.
Is that there are few theories I know, which I think he has applied.
Okay.
Don't trust your friend. That is why did he bring Buala, who has campaigned against him?
Why did he bring Omokri?
How did he bring
Fani Kayode?
When you not put trust on your enemy, they will live and die for you.
But you know, enemies don't change from being enemies.
They change. That is not the truth. Enemies change.
I'm enjoying this session today, Joe.
His friends are working with you, but obviously they are jealous of you.
Friends?
Yes.
So that means we should not have friends.
You should not have.
Okay.
You know that's on. You see.
Oremi.
Fine.
Already in other theory.
You understand it now? Sorry. These people you are looking at in Tinubu's government. Everybody has its objective. When you go to Senate, they are singing on mandate we stand. They are not singing it for Tinubu. They are singing it for themselves. When the chiefs are down, you will see their nakedness. They will all dance naked before Tinubu. And the man knows that the only people we can actually trust now are his so-called enemies in quotes. You tell the thing. So Nadeco, they had a moving motivation.
Yes.
Let there be democracy. But this democracy that you are looking at, the group icon, which is democracy,
and the collective vision.
The group icon as a democratic organization is let's have a democracy.
So what you are saying is that it might not be the people who are replying him.
No,
it could just be maybe the people I didn't know he was in my
because what I'm saying.
The people that are now saying we were in Nadeco, we were in trenches together. I didn't hear them that time.
What I'm saying, of course, everybody.
So those people were there.
They said they were there.
No matter the personal motives you may have,
you could always have double under democracy.
Why under a military rule that would not even allow you
that
exist?
Suppresses your voice.
So that's why I'm saying that part of the story looks somehow to me, but it is story.
The idea is that
two truths can be true. Right?
Yes, it's possible.
There could be a sensationalized perspective from the writer of the book.
Frame the story in a way where you begin to, because it's about framing, really.
But what exactly does Abdulsalam want anymore?
No,
he's enjoying an elder statesman status.
It's a story
that he gave us democracy.
Yes. You see, the point, one thing I want us to look at is this. When you're looking at group agitation, there is we, there is I.
Of course.
Do you understand it now?
Of course. What will I likely
for an extension? They will work out mathematics of their benefits.
Within
Abdulsalam had extended it.
Yes.
He will go to cabinet. A new cabinet.
And they are going to work with it.
I'm telling you. That will be it.
Okay.
There are a lot of people that got
the Nadeco members came to him. But one thing he didn't really put in perspective was, just as you are trying to say, he didn't put the name. He didn't put the class of Nadeco members.
Because
maybe not the ones we know.
Exactly. Maybe they were the food soldiers they were looking for crumbs.
Look at Sare Dokubo, for instance. Now saying that
he was a man
biography.
Yes.
And I know that it's a no holds barred document in space. People say it as it is because again, there's nothing to lose again.
Yes.
You just writing your story.
Yes.
People can agree and to disagree and what have you. I've read quite it. So one would think that something as sensitive as Nadeco members wanting an extension of military rule because they were not prepared. It would have been nice to say, oh, these were the delegations that came. These were the group. But if he decides not to write it, I would think that
makes it speculative.
It makes and there's still something missing, and that's my own position.
Yes, it's missing. The names of those who are missing. But the fact is that I said group trust.
You have Judases. You have the naysayers, you have the moles,
you have the praise singers.
Even the so much talked about Obasanjo's attempt for a third term.
Yes.
Was not moved by senators.
Well, of course, yes.
Mm-hmm. So if the man had kept quiet now, he wrote a book and said some senators came to me. They said name him.
Well, of course, some of these names we know who were pushing for the third term agenda.
Yes.
It was there, even though
Baba is denying it. I remember one senator had said 2 years may not be too
much enough. We have
on the floor
of the Senate. So, but on the issue of Abiola's death, I think we should just
as you said, the man has died. Let him rest in peace.
So we're going to get a bit personal tomorrow on Thursday, because Mr. Mɪᴅ-Wᴇᴇ shares a very, very special. Told me that he was part of the only few people that actually saw Abiola's dead body when they flew him into Lagos in his private residence. So I'm sure that
he will be able to help you with.
Yes, I'm sure that tomorrow on the show I'm going to cut this. The calls that are coming on this show today, if you have to pick all of them, we're not going to leave here today. But let's quickly touch on the other story before we leave. And that is the call for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's opposition saying the president should resign. On the back of health workers amongst the victims, more soldiers deployed as search for abducted Oyo students and teachers intensifies. A presidential aides Bayo Onanuga and Dada Olusegun and the House of Representatives member Philip Agbese have separately dismissed calls for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's resignation made specifically by the presidential candidate of the Nigerian Democratic Congress (NDC), Peter Obi, and the House Minority Leader Fred Agbedi. They went on to Obi had urged President Tinubu to follow the example of Keir Starmer, who recently announced his resignation as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Starmer's decision followed a mounting public frustration over a stagnant economy, a worsening cost that Nigeria faces similar challenges under Tinubu, including insecurity and poor electricity supply, and said these warranted the president's resignation. He stated that 2023 election campaign, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu made several promises, including improving electricity supply. He also challenged the electorate not to vote for him for a second time if he failed to deliver on those commitments, particularly in providing stable power supply, fighting corruption, and improving the welfare of Nigerians. At present, however, these conditions are worsened rather than eased out. Similar concerns are reflected across other critical sectors such as security, infrastructure, transportation, and anti-corruption efforts, of which all have been regressed. We are in the worst possible situation. However, the special advisor to President fundamentally flawed, insisting that President Tinubu was elected by a constitutionally guaranteed 4-year term. The presidency described Obi's demands as childish, hollow, and an attempt to distract from the administration's achievement in governance, security, and economy. According to Bayo Onanuga, recent electoral victories recorded by the APC in Ekiti and the senatorial election in Adamawa, Enugu, Ondo state reflect the continued public confidence in the president and his party, the All Progressive Congress. Obi should wait till 2027 presidential election to test the popularity of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu rather than attempting to use social media to... I remember a couple of years back, the very first encounter I had with Mr. Bayo Onanuga was at the NUJ Center in Ogba. And I remember after that session, I was a young, aspiring journalist just looking for certificates, to have and all of that. And I told myself that this man is sound to the very biggest level. And I said, this one will mentor me. And since then, this statement of Peter Obi calling for the president's resignation could actually mean something any opposition party and member can push forward. Listen, you have failed in your responsibility. If Keir Starmer can follow, does it raise anything on your skin when you look at the quality of the people that surround the president or the people managing the image of the president as a professional?
And I'll repeat it again. If you talk about journalism and being a thoroughbred professional as a journalist, there's no way you're going to fault the knowledge capacity being extremely woeful. And I think you cannot blame him. You can't give what you don't have, Okoyemi. Information management, or what you call presidential communication, is a skill completely different from just being a good journalist. Being a good writer. You can report the stories well. You can write very good feature articles. No, this is more like a job for a PR expert. and it's something that requires tact and skill. You know, he was on TV yesterday. That is coming from the advisor to the president on information and strategy. No matter the question that might be thrown at him, for you to come out at a time when your government is telling Nigerians to understand that, look, it's a period of pain, the reforms are going to be like this until things get better. For you to now come out and say that you don't see the level of being a very brilliant man. But I say it again with all my mouth.
Information manager.
As an information manager to the president. Because, you know, in PR, sir, we say, look, what you do is to get the goodwill of the people.
Yes,
that is the first thing. You, no matter what, in PR, you want to win your enemies, you want to win more friends.
Even the neutrals, get everybody on board.
So for everything you do, you are not making more enemies for your principal. You want to, the enemies must become friends by whether you like it or not. The friends must be retained to the point where you want to make more friends. And that's how you look. But when you get to a point where, you know, that was the same problem our Ogatu had, Mr. Femi Adesina. You know, he was the one that started the wailing wailers.
Yes.
As an information manager, he did a wonderful job. Garba Shehu did not also help matters. Both of them were just, you know, because they did not understand the need to keep their principle in the good books of the people. The reality is that, look, to even think that there are Nigerians who hate the president means you are not even going to be able to deliver on the job as an information manager. For you to be able to do the job, you exactly. But once you conclude that they hate the president, you can't win them over. You lost them.
You made them your enemy.
You've made them your enemy. So how do you want to win them over? You understand? So the job requires you to understand and categorize those people as people who may not have enough understanding
on
of
how the president
accepts
the
president. But here you have.
That's why they call you information manager. That's what PR is.
So it's important. So that's why when politicians just go out looking for the best journalist, or he's been writing columns, he's been reporting. No. This is something that.
Why?
And that's why, you know, on political advice, I call this okay. Convince me that the president also lost me.
How will you?
Okay, you tell me. People say it, you begin to wonder. You cannot just sit back as an information manager of a president who is supposed to be the father of all and say, oh, they hate the president. No. Working on them and succeeding on working on them should make you understand that it might just be people who don't have enough information. Who needs to, and that's why your strategy will now be in working on them to begin to see why they have to accept the president. Now, on the issue of resignation, records.
I was every time Jonathan to resign.
He told him to resign.
He said if you cannot bring back the Chibok girls, resign.
In charge, to
resign.
Whose government was not even this bad. The security situation was not this bad to also resign. And then for people who think we are going to have a Kestama situation in Nigeria, wake up from your slumber. It will never happen.
We don't walk away here.
Because the perception, the orientation of the people in the UK to governance is not the same here. You will never see politicians in the UK singing on your mandate we shall stand to a politician. They don't bore you well.
It is the members of the party of Kestama that pushed him out.
Not even the opposition.
The only way it can happen here is the members of that party in the Senate and the National Assembly.
The handwriting on the wall.
One MP resigned today. Another MP resigned tomorrow.
Cabinet members were resigning.
He said, I don't have the trust of my party members.
Party members, because he's not the
trust
of the people.
Party members are no more on his side.
But here, what do you have? No, now, this is it. When we talk about the party being superior, you can see the difference.
Yes.
In Nigeria, who is superior between the party and the politicians?
The politician.
But here, you see the situation where the party is supreme.
Yes.
Because the structure of the party, even before the opposition holds you to account, the structure of the party
is holding you to account.
He's firing you.
He's firing you up. They know that you're not representing yourself. You're representing the ideology of the party.
Yes. And he must not fail.
Use your own to spoil the reputation of the party.
What you have here is the leader of the party. He decides all for the party.
But it's not that our politicians don't know this.
They know.
But what happens is that whoever is the leader settles his party people.
Buckets the party.
Bang, bang.
Settles the party. So nobody will raise eyebrow. The other day I saw this APC publicity secretary. What's his name?
Mocha.
Felix Mocha.
Arguing with secretary from you. No.
So that is
it. So, but those people, they have not had what there's what you call empowerment of poverty. We call it enthronement. People call it different kind of names. We are talking about civil servants having a house in
Asokoro.
You know, the president can make level 10 to have houses in Asokoro.
Sure.
Mamelu. Land dana.
Dash land. El-Rufai himself would have made some level 9, level 8.
Former FCT minister.
Even Wike is doing almost the same thing. Do you understand? But when the chiefs are done, like, let him come and pay you. Say, now get that. Then they say, when breeze blow, fire. Do you understand it now?
Because at level 17, you want to sacrifice all of those?
Yes. So
I bought form for all of you.
All of you.
Bought form, okay?
No, I'm cutting weekend now.
Hold on.
Bought form for all.
They talk about immigration, cost of living,
and the conversation is
head to head. Yes. The conversations they are having, how they have to defend their policy.
They have documents to show everything. They come fully prepared.
You don't come to the house with empty head.
Would you see people, once people begin to and go and look at the history of how dictators emerge, Mr. Matthew Kodwa, they will have a song.
One.
Look, the dictators. I'm coming. Even go and read about Adolf Hitler. Was he born as a big person? No, just an ordinary person. But they will rise through the system, build their structure quality. Apart from logo, they will have their own song. Number 3, you begin them before you know, and then before you know it, they begin to personalize institutions. State infrastructure are named after them.
I don't agree, or the ruling party does not agree with the opposition calling for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's resignation.
No, these are just normal discussion in politics now.
Yes, now they are resigning.
Nobody will resign.
Nobody resigns. You did not even recall here.
Wrong in what will be assessed. So we are just saying that, look, beyond the call for resignation, we need to check again at the politics we play.
That genuine concerns
about our politics.
Concerns. I mean, I was speaking to a friend of mine yesterday evening on a video call, and then he was just coming from one of the burial site of the new. Well, unfortunately, this word may not, but the newly killed people in Plateau State. I mean, it's distasteful. Day before yesterday morning, a village was attacked in Riom. Which CCTV?
The ones that the president for 5,000.
Which CCTV?
So let's not.
Are they giving to a contractor?
No. The president.
No, I know what you're saying.
I know.
How many months now?
That was a visit. That was a stopover. He didn't get into that. He turned around at the airport.
But then there was a promise, right?
And 5,000 CCTVs.
Are those CCTVs installed already?
Is it the same state that the governor went to address their people inside armored vehicles? And let me say, you missed a lot on the show today, but you can also go back to our social media platform, especially on YouTube and Facebook. We have this session there. You can watch it live. And in case you don't want to, we're guaranteeing you that next week, Wednesday, God willing, same time, 1 p.m., same station, as Super Milan 98.3 FM would be back. But don't forget that this is not the only. Beside Fuad and his league of elite analysts and journalists would always come through and break down into details every single conversation that is trending. And from Monday to Friday, we'll have the Situation Room. And in the morning as well, there's Mainland Focus, the space where we analyze all the trending stories on the page. And we've also looked at issues around the call for the president's resignation by the opposition and the response from the handlers of the president's information. We'll also look at the issues of, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, 126 days after he was arrested. Nobody had been able to meet the biggest of his bail condition. Level 17 officer with a owned apartment in either Maitama or Asokoro. I will continue to say it. It's a trap. If you fall for it, your entire years of service may go for it immediately, because you go explain tire where you get money by us for.
Be rich.
Yeah, exactly. True though.
My father, but you bring the tie to the property, the tie to the wheel and everything.
That's another chance.
You just come out first.
They will try to check the day you purchased the house, and they will know
where you built it.
Whether it's an inheritance.
As we can. I would also pick your calls. 0913-600-0410. That's the number to call. If you want to talk to us, Said Ford and Mr. Matthew Okodwa, it's a pleasure to listen to you guys. I would disagree with Mr. Said and disagree to agree with Mr. Okodwa. The elder statesman revealed hidden truth in his autobiography. Him releasing the book at the at this military anarchical type of government led by the then pre-democrated will start from Tinubu's administration that will sum up his tenure to 10 years. Mr. Okpe, the longest serving military head of state is Yakubu Gowon for 9 years. I can see the hidden agenda and the truth and the book of Abdul Salam, gift from Bariga. So, for context, the conversation of a single term of 6 years was what set the election to go back to the assembly. So nobody is saying the president will benefit from it. It's not been brought in. It's not even been debated at all. He's just saying executive leaders. That's what he said. So it's not been established yet. To me, the military rule is better just for President Tinubu to come back in 2027, and by 2031, all this game would end. Then the North will start their own. Please, nobody from the South should cry. Charles Williams from Festac. Thank you very much. Good politicians are enjoying the dividends of MKO's death at the detriment of the masses. Due to spoils of the state, the political class uses betrayal, threats, and character assassination to outsmart each other. Infraction between President Tinubu and Malam El-Rufai are clear examples of this. Let's pick some calls. Hello, good afternoon.
Very good afternoon.
You're welcome.
By the award, maybe yes, like president. Okay, because if you didn't do well, there's no need voting you the second time. Like because this man that is there, many things he promised for the first term. He do most of it, mostly light of a thing in Nigeria. We have still sometimes they give us 2 days like that. For me, it's good that man stand by his word. If you're unable to give us what you promised during your campaign, you come down so that another person they will get him. Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother Yokolo. Good afternoon, Okpe side for Mr. Okodo. I remember El-Rufai once rubbished President Ahmed Tinubu before he became president, where El-Rufai condemned godfatherism and was referring to Lagos. I feel like Siwaju has since then planned to punish El-Rufai for that act, so it's payback time. I'm Adeyemi. I'm currently listening from Osun State. We are getting set for the Osun election. Well, we'll focus on the Osun conversation next week, Monday. I'll be having someone join me, especially on some of the pleasant reports that we're hearing about violence going on in the state. So I would start focusing on Osun ahead of the August 2026 off-cycle election in the state. Okay, this is from Aziz Odukale. Good afternoon. Side Ford as editor, journalism and public relations are two different professions, although they both involve our communication. Journalism focuses on gathering, verifying, and reporting news and information to the public. Journalists are expected to be objective, balanced, and organization, business, or government. PR professionals represent their clients' interests and seek public and positive publicity. You're welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Mr. Okoda.
Good afternoon. Well done.
I agree with you. Malam, is a very vocal person. If you allow this kind of person to be in an opposition party, someone who knows your secret, who have been part of the party, who knows it, you want him to be in an opposition with someone like Atiku? No, now. I think.
So, Joshua, why didn't you keep him in your party? Why do you allow him to go?
Telling you, President Tinubu, it would have been even very difficult for him because if El-Rufai had joined the northern politics, you understand? Now, if we allow this kind of person to know our secrets to be in an opposition, El-Rufai will talk. He will scatter the table. Yes, we have to be sincere.
Okay.
You know, we have to be
sincere. We appreciate your sincerity.
This table, I want to get.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gege Joshua. Obi is on the right track for telling the president to resign. And I was shocked seeing educated people telling us that we are practicing king. Please, I would really like you to be very friendly.
Radio you do.
I'll be radio friendly. But I got your message, but I can't read that last part of your message. You also went on to say that El-Rufai practically brought Tinubu to power because without winning primaries election, you can't be president. The judge has no power to release El-Rufai except the politician. This is political witch hunting. That's John Benadohi from Ijaniki. Good afternoon. Welcome to Mainland FM.
Fuad, I greet you now, and the other brother there.
You're welcome. Obi.
Fuad, I greet you.
I greet you, Mr. Obi.
For Fuad, I know that the Eru.
Yeah, things.
Let them continue to fight. Sincerely speaking, although I'm not happy that there's a political judgment on him. So it's unfair, but it's good. It's good for the police. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good day to you, great gentlemen of the press. This is Chris Oke from Ikeja. I'm very sure that El-Rufai would remain in custody until after the election in January, and he won't be jailed. It's just political game to keep him in check. Abdul Salam is just telling his own story. That is what they all do after mismanaging Nigeria. For President Tinubu, he should resign. He has failed, period. That's Chris Oke from Ikeja. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Our latest news says captives in Oyo Forest are being moved to Kaduna by helicopter. Involvement of helicopter.
That's fake news.
That's fake news.
Helicopter qua. And distinguished gentlemen in the studio, please, Mr. Okpa, what is the curfew declared by Seyi Makinde about? Is it to stop the kidnappers from moving further and restrict them to where they are? Why is the curfew coming now? Mr. Fa, don't you think, guys, that no electioneering should go on across the country until those children are other kidnapped victims everywhere are released? How is it possible that everything is going on normally as if nothing has happened? Meanwhile, I saw Sunday Igboho and his team in the forest with a drone in a bid to find those kidnapped victims. Please confirm this. Will Mr. President resign because Peter Obi had asked him to resign? Meanwhile, I had switched off my freezer for 2 days now because everything inside is blocked. We're having at least 18 hours of light daily for now, though our card is facing the consequences. Well, James Ugbona from Ushodi, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's true that Igboho is in parts of the Oyo National Park. We saw him with his group of people with drones.
They're using drones to monitor.
And I hope that he's not going to mess whatever is going on up. But that's why we need to ask ourselves, do we have any serious operations going on by the government to rescue these people?
40 days now.
Because if there's something serious going on to rescue these people, so his group moving into that place, flying drones, this is a very fluid situation, very extremely dangerous. And to see that the dangerous situation like this, so you see, the more you think about this thing, you can go crazy.
When was it trained for crisis
for things like this? And the danger here is that, look, this is a very fluid, delicate.
Things could go
haywire.
Fast as you can imagine.
He's been flying drones now. He's been moving around. He's been making statements. The question is, what is the government that is supposed to be in charge of the situation doing?
What are they doing?
What are they doing?
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Mr. Fa.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Everybody in the house. Yeah. So my take on that of El-Rufai, my Bible has said it, that the rich also cry. So it's good sometimes let them feel it, so that when they will now maybe have opportunity to be in power, they know how to amend some certain things and put some certain things in order. And that of Oyo State, it's just like the more what is happening in this country, the more you look, the less you see. I can't just tell what is exactly going on. So it looks as if they are playing games. It looks as if our federal government are not serious, state government are not serious. But the only thing I'm praying that those who are children should come back in the grace of God. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bayo Nonuga gets to drink expensive free. Who doesn't know what suffering is? Like so long, he has had access to free money to throw around. Bayo told a black lie. Bayo told a black lie because Tinubu himself acknowledged that there's suffering in the land.
Tinubu might know. Bayo may not know.
Exactly. Now
we can't force him to see what he has not seen.
What he does not know.
He says he's not seen that poverty that people are talking about.
The president may see that Bayo is not seeing.
Do you know his reality?
Hello, good afternoon. Ooh. Hello, are you with us now?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome. Your name and where you calling from?
I'm Joseph. I'm calling from Pipeline.
Mr. Joseph from.
The issue was what I'm saying, telling us that Abiola died of this. What is he telling us? Like, what is in the story?
I would appreciate if you can call back. We're really struggling to hear you. At 09136000410. Good afternoon, gentlemen in the studio. There's always a different feel when Mr. Matthew Okudwa joins in. Thank you. On the case of Abdul Salam, the man is old enough. Named those people, whether living or dead, so that Nigerians can question their integrity. Some of the people benefiting from this democracy today never genuinely fought for the democracy under the Nadeko. God bless the wisdom of you guys and God bless your station.
Mr. Fuad, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Damlola from Alaba.
You're welcome, Mr. Damlola.
Thank you, my brother. On the statement of Bayo Nanuga, it is very clear. And for the fact that the man is a journalist, and a rude that time. But the thing is just that maybe because of money or because of anything around him, that statement is too ugly, honestly. If you cannot see the property, it should come down to some areas in this Lagos. Let him start from Ajegule. In fact, people at Badagry are waiting for him. Let him go there. They wipe him. He will not be handed up. What are passing through? An apartment again. Then you're not saying you don't even see it. That man, they're supposed to see him in that post. They're supposed to fire him, and if they are painting the president a very ugly color. And at the end, we're not clear, yes, this is democracy one way. And the look at you actually go to bed, go have everything, and sleep, and wake up, and use his brain. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, and thank you very much for lending your thoughts to the conversation that we have today, so that we don't abandon the people on the Facebook constituency. Let me also check what they have quick. Hello, good afternoon.
Please.
Hello.
Good afternoon, please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you
Okay,
very clear.
your name and where are you joining us from?
Yeah, this is Mr. Samuel from Orílẹ̀-èdè.
Mr. Samuel from Orílẹ̀-èdè. You're welcome to the show.
Exactly. Yeah, I really commend Abayo Onanuga for what he said. I supported his motion. By saying so, in as small we are still collecting bread. And again, about Europa is a law of farmer. He was the one that imposed fight for this man, our president, on us. So, but being him there, and again, being keeping him there, like they keep him there for life. Whom I will vote for 2027, I'm known. I don't even need campaign. I don't need poster. So where I'm going, I've known already. So that is my thinking.
Lawale Sunday. Good afternoon to you, everyone in the studio listening live from Orílẹ̀-èdè. I'm enjoying the show. They know El-Rufai El-Rufai's bail conditions can't be met. It would be released after the 2027 election or close to the election period. See how the DSS personnel are flaunting and gallivanting in court because of one armless civilian, Omoyele, and let them tell us Tinubu is a Democrat. Shame on this DSS. The real criminals are in government and our forest buying innocent Nigerians every day. Indeed, there was a country. Thank you very much, my brother, for joining the conversation. Well, a brother of mine. Benjamin, he says, good afternoon, gentlemen in the studio. God bless you all. Can these ex-leaders from Babangida to Gowon and Abdul Salam writing booklet, The Sleeping Dog Line? Badmos Olushola Michael, you tagged someone and you say, Raphael Ashefo, my daddy, if you are chanced, please watch this broadcast again. Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, this is James Iwanchi Ogbona, distinguished gentleman in the studio. I agree to professionally. Please, Mr. Okpa, what is the call? Okay, I took that message already. So we all heard all sort of statements Malam made about Tinubu. It was everywhere denying President Tinubu's efforts in bringing Buhari to power. The president then, as the national leader of the party, promised President Buhari 6 million votes, but he couldn't put, at least he gave him millions of votes. What was President Tinubu's defense to support their brother? To me, I don't see any betrayal in this. Denying him is a payback to him. Okay. Falomobo says, good afternoon, guys. Sunday Igboho has drones, but Nigerian security don't have drones. It is well. Jack Annie says, good Good afternoon to you guys. You guys are doing an amazing job. Nobody hates Mr. President. In fact, I personally love him from the days of Nadeko till now. But the thing is good afternoon to you guys. One of the greatest challenges in this country is the issue of insecurity. I pray we all shall see Nigeria of our dreams soon. Samuel Ajayi from Ikeja. Alabama Ade says, shame on Ononuga. Okay. Ade Ayonleye Khan Kazim says, good afternoon to you. Well done for the job always. I would always look up for your station for always trusting us. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon, okay.
You're welcome, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you. You know, I was trying you. I thought you would not pick my call. Good afternoon, sir. Mr. Okod, was it not the former FCT minister that was destroying people's houses? Am I right?
It was the FCT. It was the FCT minister. I don't know about the other one.
Destroyed. They get us.
Okay. Was it not the same person that said people will go back
in body bags
and the rest? That during his time, people were being killed in Kaduna and everything. See, let me tell you, sometimes it is good that somebody will use his own mouth to let it play the music. But Mr. Fuad, what I want to ask again is that
it's a case in court. You can't decide that until the courts decide this case.
Because Rufai said somebody tapped something for him. Why, if you are my question.
Investigation is still going on. I'm very sure about that, Mr. Roberts.
When he has spent how many years in
apologies. I thought you were done with that conversation. Let's read a couple of the messages that we have. A good day to you, sirs. My take is we should prepare ourselves for the reality that not all those kidnapped children from Oyo will come back alive, because we really cannot fathom the condition under which they are held. My prayers are for their families. That's daily from New Okoba. Thank you. Okay, because Ugbo is involved, now he cares. Okay.
It's Kenny from Mushin.
Mr. Kenny from Mushin, let's do this real quick.
Well, I find it difficult to believe that Ogabayo Onuga is speaking like this. The alliance said to be carried away with the Paravale office. What will happen to him when we leave this office? This office have time, limited time. Even if they have 1 year to the end of this tenure, even if the man has by party that is elected the next 4 years, I think that why we leave that place. Where will it be? No, I don't fancy that. But the issue of Salam Abubakar, well, he has said what he has said. Then Nigerians want important things. The day Abdullah died, that night the broadcast made to the nation. The autopsy has not been conducted on the man. He came on here to say the man, between the time the man died and the man at the time he addressed the nation, he too should come out and tell us. All of them are complaining. Name them. At least at this age, he has nothing to lose. He's an elderly sick man. He too should come out and tell us who carried out the autopsy on that very day. Call that.
Of course.
Let's give us
how many years ago?
And the next let us.
Dr. Pᴏʟɪᴛ is talking to us, and he says, good afternoon to esteemed journalists in the studio. This call for President Tinubu to resign is not something we should be dwelling on. Nobody resigns in Nigeria. If the president actually resigns, who take over? Constitutionally is his vice president that will be sworn in to take his place. So what difference does it make? Is he still not the same party that will still be in the saddle? Thank you very much, Orobusa Henry from Dr. Pᴏʟɪᴛ. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, this is Joseph.
You're welcome, Mr. Joseph. Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Satellite. I told you the other time we did Koto.
Okay.
So I'm talking about Absalom. You know, it's very painful for those of us that Abdullah died in their custody. And not only that, he's now telling us that the man died after many years. And let me tell you something. Then Obasanjo was in jail, already jailed. Abiola was just in a detention. They released the person who is in jail.
And they kept the one in detention.
So it's who's supposed to be somebody is just like in a police station, and somebody who is jail, who's supposed to come out first. So it was all the adakadabra. If you don't see, don't see. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And of
man
course,
no see God see.
Man no see God see. And that's about the size of the conversation on the show today. What a Wednesday we've had. And please, if you missed this one, go on our social media platforms, our Facebook and YouTube, and you can rewatch it. And by 4 p.m., there is Sage Babalola with the fresh edition midweek session in the Situation Room. And by 5:30, there's going to be the global news. And by 6 o'clock, I would also come back, take you through the world of sport on Sports Cruise. Ghana, I made it 2 games without conceding a goal or losing anyone at the World Cup after they held the much fancied 3 Lions of England to a goalless draw in the ongoing. He said he's going to make sure that Hurricane does not score, and he held it down. Whether it works or not, the Black Stars of Ghana have 4 points in this World Cup.
The 3 Lions fans are
it's going to be the buzz. It's a midweek edition, so you can request for songs that you want to enjoy with Jaydan and his co-host BB the Biggest B. By 6 o'clock, I will also come back to take you through the world of sport on Sports Cruise. And by 7 o'clock, you know what that means, we'll have the beautiful ladies come talk about 8 o'clock is shenanigans. 7 o'clock, maybe I'm looking forward to the shenanigans. They should bring you to 7 o'clock. There's global cluster by 7 o'clock all the way down. So I thank you, Mr. Matthew Okuda. It's always an amazing time when you join us on the show. Deep insight. Let's do this again next week, Wednesday. Same time, 1 p.m., same station. Your number one dial, Mainland 98.3 FM. We at the Sound of Lagos. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That's now X, as we call it, or on our YouTube page.